Welcome to 10 for Teen Sesh. My name is Kimberly.
And I am Maria. Welcome back to our podcast, 10 for 10 Sash. Ding, 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 ding.
Our season 2,
Yes,
episode 1. So we are
yes,
back together.
we are back. Did you miss us? Mm-hmm.
You better. Just kidding. I know a lot of people wrote to me that they did miss us. And we actually miss reconnecting with each other, giving ourselves updates. Like, in a way, it was a therapy for us. So
Oh, yes.
we're
Yes.
here.
So you might know that we took a big ass hiatus of like almost 2 years. When was the last time we recorded the last episode?
It was October.
Of 2021, right?
Was it 2021?
I think so.
Ding, 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 ding. Espérate. Que yo ahora voy a chequear en YouTube de uno.
Ay, ¿verdad?
En YouTube. Y ahí sabré bien. Libraries, your videos. It was actually just a year ago. So it's been a year. Yeah. Damn.
It honestly has felt like 2 years for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we took a hiatus. We needed a time to just figure our shit out and just live. And it was time. I was like, Kimberly, I miss doing the podcast. It was a very important,
No, it's crazy. I had created a new logo y todo ya.
Yes, es verdad. Yeah.
And then Maria was like, girl, I miss. I'm like, girl, I'm glad you said this because I already got a plan.
Yes. It was like we were already connecting. Our energy was connecting to each other because it was time to be back.
Yes.
So Kimberly, what had you been up to?
Well, I believe since the last time from the podcast, I actually had just, it was already a few months from the new job at the optical office, but that did not go well.
Oh no.
Like, yeah, it was a year and a half that I was with that company. Like, it was fine. I did enjoy the job itself, but it was just the drives. They keep adding more clinics that I had to visit throughout the week. And some of them will be 3-hour drives, 2-hour drives. And it was like a daily thing. And then traffic in Miami keeps getting worse. Yeah. So it was intense. Sometimes it'll take me 4 hours to get back home. And I just felt like I didn't have a life anymore. Like, I enjoyed the job itself. Me llevaba bien con todo el mundo, pero it was just a drive. And after that, my car broke down because of all those drives. Yeah. And I was carless. And then I had to rent a car for like a week. And then my boss paid for my Ubers. It was a hot mess. But then, is this not a sponsorship or ad? I found a car through Carvana. The easiest process of my life.
Really?
It was like shopping at Amazon. And then your car gets delivered in your house. So I was like, what? And it was an amazing experience. So I got a new car. But now
you actually bought a car through an app?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because I remember seeing because Carvana was like a vending machine for cars.
Okay.
That you could go physically or you could order through the app. And there were so many commercials about it. I'm like, let me give it a try because I didn't want to deal with the whole dealership thing, having to wait. Ugh. So I did that and everything worked out fine and the car is doing fine. But lamentablemente, only 2 weeks with the car, I got into a car accident.
Oh my God,
because one of the clinics were so far away. It was like a merge lane. Y esta cabrona, whippy. Me llevó al lado. Oh, no. And then insurance problems and everything. That was like a wake-up call for me. I'm like, I need to leave this job ASAP. So I did. By the end of the year. So literally, I ended the year, boom, and I started a new year with a new job. So far, still getting the hang of it. So I'm currently working at a contact center at a credit union. So we'll see how it goes.
Yes. I gotta say, I'm very happy for you because I know last year was a hassle for both of us.
Yes.
But I know in your case, you've been struggling with work and trying to find something that will allow you to just do your thing and be more time, at home and just enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that you finally found a job that allows you to do that. So.
I know. Thank you. Y María, cuéntanos, cuéntanos.
Bueno, Corillo, prepárense.
Mm,
No, but 2022, guys, was a very hard year for me. It was a wake-up call in so many aspects. And I don't know if you guys, I mean, people that have been listening to our podcast
mhm,
since last year, I was trying to buy a house, an apartment. And actually, I started the process in the beginning of 2022, like literally on January.
mhm,
I'm so excited, pumped up. And then, the process kept getting slower and slower and slower. And then, as you may know, the crisis of the market, high prices, and the interest getting high.
mhm.
And, the bank was also being a pain in the ass, taking their time.
Yep.
And, I started in January and then it was still June and I still hadn't had closed the deal. And I was getting very stressed. I was getting very frustrated because I was like, yo, the prices are getting higher and I don't have that much money, to pay the down payment and the closing costs.
Mhm.
And it went up to a point that I broke down. I've never had that experience in my life, at least in that extent.
Mhm.
And I basically just had to like leave the deal because it was just not a good deal anymore for me. And I also made the decision to go to a psychologist for the first time, and it was an eye-opening experience for me. You know, our podcast is mostly focused on mental health, on
Mhm.
mindfulness, and I consider myself a very positive person. I try my best to reflect and do my yoga, my meditations. But I was going through all those bad, experiences that year that I found myself not feeling as happy as I wanted to be,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, yoga is not helping me, meditation is not helping me, I need help, you know. And I spoke with my sister, spoke with my family, and they were like, okay, just, do what you gotta do. And I went there, and thankfully, I went there for like, I would say 2 or 3 months. So the sessions weren't that long, but it was a very helpful experience for me. And I would just want to say out there, if you've never been to a psychologist or any kind of therapy, and you're thinking that you need a little bit of a help in whatever area, go for it. Because you don't know the benefits that it might
Mhm.
to you. And then, at least for me, what I love the most about going to a therapist is that it gave me validation to my feelings, to what I was going through, because I sometimes found myself feeling guilty for feeling, frustrated or feeling angry, and talking that things to a professional gave me, the feedback to myself, like,
Mhm.
bitch, you're okay. Like it's normal
Mhm.
that you're going through this, and it's perfectly human. And that gave me more, I felt more calm, more acceptive of myself. And so I've been after that I've been trying to center again, to do my reflections and like all the things that I used to do back in the day,
Mhm.
do it again. So that's my journey. And another thing that happened to me last year is that I found my boyfriend. Yay! So I met my current boyfriend during the whole process of the house. So in a way, it was like a blessing in disguise because
Mhm.
I was going through a bad process, I had someone that it was testing. It was, how do you say? I thank God for this, like the timing of everything, because he saw me at my worst and he still stuck through it. And I was like, okay, this guy, I need him by my side
Mhm.
because he's very supportive and that means a lot. So yeah, long story short, we moved in together. So we're currently in my apartment. I'm renting. Not It's not mine, purchase, but still, it's my own place, and I'm very grateful that I found at least what I really wanted, which was to move
Mhm.
in, have my own space, and yeah, just living life, bitches.
I wanted to say I am
Yes.
very, 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 very proud
Brr.
of you. Because I know like asking for help or going to get help is really hard
Yes.
to make that move and make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
And you did it and you came out, with something better from you and you gained that
Mm-hmm.
self-confidence back. So I'm
Yes.
very, very happy for you. And like you
Thank
said, you
you.
went throughout all this test, but the year ended up great. You ended up finding your partner, your
Mm-hmm.
apartment the apartment situation we've been talking about, whoo, throughout the
Forever.
whole podcast,
Yes.
even the year before. So,
Yeah.
like al fin se te dio, and
Mm-hmm.
it's time now for you to enjoy, embrace everything,
Yes.
and just be you, boo. But I'm very
Yes.
proud of you.
Thank you. And I also wanted to say that I also remember that
Mhm.
there are times that you want things to happen to you in a certain way. And when things don't happen the way you want them to, you get so frustrated because it's not what you wanted, you know?
Mhm.
And then you have to like catch yourself and be like, you know what? Maybe, yes, I did not buy my apartment, but I did move out of my parents' house. You know, it was not the way I wanted to, but I did it anyway, you know?
Mhm.
So, yeah, like life works in mysterious ways. And maybe you feel frustrated because you don't have, that job you wanted or whatever it is that you want to have something valuable to you, but just enjoy the process because things are working out for a reason. We might not know and we might not like see the, how do you say? Se me fue la palabra. Bluebell. Ese me fue el hilo, puñeta.
Like you might see the bigger picture right now, but
Yeah, like just enjoy the process,
mhm.
trust the process basically, and know that in the future you don't know when things will come to you in their own way. You just have to
Amen,
be
sister.
open.
Amen.
Yes,
Yes.
so yes. So yeah, and what else? What else? Oh, and very, I also, as you may know about me, I love astrology, and I'm been trying to get back to my studies and practice more because I want to become like official astrologer and give readings to people. Um, and due to the whole stress that I was going through, I took a pause as well, and
Mhm.
I was actually studying in astrology school in Argentina, but online. And I was actually like halfway through the year,
Mm.
and I was like, I can't do this right now. And I feel so bad because I was like, shit, I'm almost done to the year, but I can't focus. I'm not learning anything, so I
Mhm.
took a pause, and life happened, blah blah blah. And actually, this week I'm start again the classes.
Yay.
So I'm so excited to return to my studies and my goals. So yeah, basically that has been wait, that has been what has been keeping me on track. Sorry for the Spanglish.
Mm. Girl, this is a Spanglish podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
If you
they're fine. The
yeah,
audience is fine.
if you're a new listener, if you don't speak Spanish, I'm so sorry for you. Because we both live. I mean, Kimberly lives in Florida and Miami. I live in Puerto Rico, but we're both Puerto Rican, so English and Spanish is our way of communication. So we're gonna be talking
Spanglish.
in both.
Spanglish.
Spanglish. So, Kimberly, I wanted to ask you, girl, because if you guys are familiar to astrology, there's a term called Saturn Return. The planet Saturn that's in the sky.
The
So
one with the
basically,
big ring. Just
yes,
if you need
the
a
big ass.
visual.
Yes, 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 yes. So basically, Saturn, as all planets do, they orbit around the Earth. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. They orbit around the sun, not the
I was
Earth.
about to say, girl,
My
since
bad.
when?
I'm sorry.
Bueno, no me sorprendería porque tanto UFO activity lately como que, what the fuck is
No,
happening? So, who knows?
no, no, no,
And the
but it's
government
okay.
is lying to us.
No, but seriously, I meant around the sun. So Saturn takes around 30 years to do or to complete its orbit around the sun. So roughly around from the year 28 to 30 years. So basically, the concept is that when you were born, in our case, Kimberly and I, we were born with Saturn in Aquarius. And right now, Saturn is in Aquarius and is finishing its transit towards through Aquarius. So that means that both Kimberly and I, and if you guys are 30, 29, 28, you guys have been or are currently going through a cycle of transformation, life-changing events, learning curves, because Saturn is a planet of karma. It's a planet that really, really tells you, okay, bitch, sit down. You've been doing this wrong. Let's like, what you been doing
Mm-hmm.
with your life, girl? So it's a perfect time to reflect on what you want to do for the next 30 years or whatever time on your life. So
You told me that, and on my current job, we have an application that we could see the
mhm.
year that we can retire,
Oh
and it's
my.
the next 30 years. I was like,
Yes.
halfway there.
Yes, which it makes sense literally because our first Saturn return is when we turn 30, and
Hmm.
the next is when we turn 60. So
Interesting.
it's literally is like the start of us becoming an adult, like an official adult,
Hmm.
and then the step of becoming, older.
Like, could we
So,
retire at 35?
please,
Yes.
but still getting paid as
Right?
usual. Oh my God. So nothing. I was just asking Kimberly like if she wanted to reflect on her life, briefly, not in detail, obviously.
Hmm.
Anything that she might remember that was very important for her that marked her evolution or like life decisions in her life. So yeah, like how do you feel like these 30 years or recent, 10 years have
Hmm.
been for you? What things have changed, if you have changed your mindset regarding something specific or relationships that you've been trying to cut out of your life. Tell me, mama, tell me the juice. Tell me, tell
Tell me
me.
the juice. Bueno, out of the top of my head,
Yes.
I do realize, like, back in the day, I always
Mm-hmm.
had to have someone or to depend on someone, either a family member or friend. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like whenever they would ignore me or didn't give me the same attention that I would give to them,
Yeah.
it would offend me to the max. Like it was the end of the world, you know? And now it's like, okay, whatever, fuck it. And I'll just do
Mm-hmm.
shit on my own. And I've been doing it on my own for quite some time. Then now it's weird if someone does come into my life, like how to like make it as a partnership.
Yes.
So it's like, ya estoy acostumbrada, like being on my own. So it's
Yes.
like, what do you have to offer in my life that will make it better? Not
Wow.
for just so we could have something to do, you know? Like I
Mm-hmm.
want something more serious and that we're willing to help each other. It's not for you
Yes.
to take advantage of one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of them. Um, the other thing is just like basically family trauma in general, like from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a constant repeating the situations in my head, while right now I just put it into peace. Like
Yeah.
that had to happen in order for
Mm-hmm.
me to become who I am today. So,
Yeah.
and like back in the day, I would just assume, oh my God, so many things had to happen. Like, why me? Why me? Like it was a constant complaining, but
Yeah.
now it's just accepting it and moving on, basically.
Yeah.
So that's all I can think of out of the top of my head right now.
You
And
know,
you?
it's sorry before
Yeah.
go to mine. It's amazing that you just said that because I'm looking at your birth chart, girl, and your no, seriously, your
Mm-hmm.
Saturn is placed on the area of relationships, where deep relationships of share resources. So you're learning to actually decide, okay, are you the type of person I want to share my values with? Do you match what I really want to bring in my life or not? And also, Saturn is known to be a serious planet. So if you have Saturn in next to your sun, which is your core, part of
Mm-hmm.
yourself, it can give you that serious attribute or characteristic to your persona. So it's very refreshing that you say that because it literally talks, it's reflected in your birth chart. So it's amazing. You're reflecting that. Yes.
Yes. So what about you, honey boo? What changes have you realized deep within yourself or
Ugh,
in your life?
everything. I'm just
Everything.
kidding.
Well,
Yeah.
it could be everything. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, like I said, this year has been it actually was my Saturn return year. So that's why it was so hard on me because lots of things happen. I moved out of my house, had emotional, difficulties or, situations, and learned to understand myself more, I guess. Before I was, ay, se me fue el hilo otra vez. Okay. Okay,
Have
so,
you seen White Lotus?
look, la estoy viendo, I'm watching the second season.
Me too, pero empecé. El Teams. Okay, continue. This is how we process things. We're gonna try emo theme song. Like many tabs open. Now we start to close. Okay, back to the main
Okay,
tab. There
back
we
to
go.
yes, there we go. And we're back. So yeah, well, in my case, my Saturn placement is in the area of the self, of identity. So it's very personal to me.
Mhm.
And I was telling Kimberly that, I was reviewing or reflecting on how I was when I was like in college or at the end of high school. I have a different mindset of what I wanted my life to be. And, recently I've been feeling that I no longer want the things that I longed before, when I was younger. I basically, when I was younger, I aspired to have like a corporate job or being a manager, have the money, 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 But lately, I mean, it's important to focus on your job and have your economic resources and everything. But for me, having money or like feeling like I'm the boss or anything like that is no longer a priority for me. I am looking more towards inner, I don't know how to say it. It's like ay, carajo, se me fue el hilo otra vez.
I'm
Um,
making side mental notes because, like, all of my previous jobs, I've been
mhm,
management,
yeah,
and this is the first year que yo digo, I just want to chill. I don't want to have
yeah,
that responsibility on top of me. I don't want to be worrying about anything. Like my mental peace is a priority right now. And just for
yes.
what, $2 more an hour is not worth it. It's like,
In my case,
mm-hmm,
so I've been working in the hotel industry for like 10 years. So yeah, a decade since I was in college. And all those years I was working as a bus person or a waitress and then the front desk. So I've been working customer service all my life and I love it and I know I'm good at it. But now that oh, sorry. So I wanted when I was working as customer service person, I wanted to have a corporate job. Like I wanted to have
mm-hmm,
my 9 to 5. I wanted to have a steady schedule because that was a very part of my job that I couldn't have my days off on the weekend. I worked on the holidays, so I couldn't spend time with my family. And now, thankfully, I do have a job still in the hotel industry that I work 9 to 5, but I have been feeling like I'm still not feeling like this is the job for me. I don't know if you understand. Like I
mm-hmm,
love my job, I love it, but I don't feel that I'm gonna be um evolve or I don't even know how to explain it. I don't feel like I am going to keep growing in this
mm-hmm.
industry.
Okay.
And I'm no longer interested. Like I feel like, you know what, I've worked in this industry for 10 years and I want to try something different. And, my process is that I want to focus more on astrology. I want to learn more about, spirituality. And it's a little bit scary because it's not a material job. So this is an area of work that is very, um, is focused on clientele. So if you're not out there or people don't reach you, you're not gonna earn money.
Mm-hmm,
That's the reality. But still, I'm like trying to find the balance of not leaving my job completely, but still trying to focus at least my time off to study or practice. That way I can create a community or a space in online where I can reach out to people and people can reach out to me as well. And hopefully, I can make a living out of that only, but I know it's gonna take time. So I'm right now in the process of accepting that I might reach out to a different world of a career that I've never
Mm-hmm.
ever thought I will do. So yeah, that's my process right now. So lots of
And
changes.
I don't want you to feel guilty for these
Mm-hmm.
changes because I know you studied this, you've been doing this job for
Yes.
quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're younger, you picture doing this your whole life. But
Yes.
at the end of the day, I feel like this generation right now,
Mm-hmm.
we're learning more about ourselves and we're making these changes. While back
Yeah.
then, our parents would stay in the same job and now they're fucking miserable. And then they're like, oh, what if, or what this and the other. And I feel like us, we're actually leaving our jobs, like, taking new chances just so we could
Mm-hmm.
truly be happy within ourselves. And I think that's beautiful
Yeah.
because our kids, they're not gonna have these toxic environments in a way. So because we
Yeah.
learned how to break those barriers. So we Gucci
Literally.
girl.
Thank you. And that's why in this past year since the pandemic happened, like so many people quit. They are doing their thing, online or just
Mm-hmm.
they're focusing more on their hobbies, like trying to make a living out of what they love. Like their passions are their north. And I was like, I want to do this like I don't want to be like a copycat, but what I mean
Mm-hmm.
is that I want to also follow my passions. And hospitality was my passion, but right now it's no longer a passion of mine. So like I'm
But I feel like
actually,
it's an advantage to your part, whether you don't see it or not. Since you've
yeah.
been in customer service for so long, you could help engage with
Mm-hmm.
people that
Yeah.
way that are interested in astrology and that could benefit you in the future. And that way you
Yeah.
gain like loyal customers in a way
Yeah.
to make readings or whatever they want. And
Yeah.
it's a connection. So it comes to
Yeah.
your advantage. Since you already have that experience, you know how to work things around that in order to
Yeah.
communicate with them.
And
Hmm.
actually, at work, my boss tells me that I'm the Astro girl.
That's true.
So they know that I like this type of things like astrology and magic and whatever,
Hmm.
meditation. So, and I try myself to be open to those kind of people. So if I hear someone, oh, I'm an Aries or I'm a Scorpio, I'm like, girl, I'm a Cancer. Let's talk about astrology. And I try to like engage with them
Hmm.
because girl, like there's so many people that are so interested in this type of topic, but they don't want to dive too deep because I think it's like juju or whatever. Like they don't want to, but they deep inside they're curious, and I want to normalize it. Like it's normal if you want to try different methods of learning about yourself, basically, because
Hmm.
astrology it's literally a map to understanding yourself better, and it can be used to forecast, or you want to, if you're in a, how do you say, um ay, Dios mío, in a crossroad or whatever, like if you want to have if you're making a life decision and you don't know what to do, astrology can help you. And I want to dive more into that area of service. It's like it's still service, but in a different way. It's more like
Hmm.
soulful service or spiritual service. So yeah,
Yes.
just. Like another thing that um unmotivated me of working in a corporate job is that when the pandemic happened, they did not hesitate to fire people, to let people go. And that made me think like, okay, so I'm putting 10, 20 years, whatever it is of my life to this company. But when they need to close or when they need to shut down business, they don't care. They're gonna,
Hmm.
they're gonna quit. Sorry, they're gonna fire you or whatever. It's like you're dedicating your life, you're dedicating hours of your life to someone or to a company that at the end of the day might not give a fuck of you, of what you do.
No, I feel like the pandemic was a very eye-awakening experience because
Mm-hmm.
even because of that reason as
Mm-hmm.
well, people were jobless for so long, thinking they couldn't survive on their own without a certain paycheck, but we all
Mm-hmm.
did somehow. And
Yeah.
that in a way awakened us like, wait, so why am I killing myself for this job when I could have something more chill? I just have to control my budgeting and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And I
Yeah.
feel like people in that way, like you said, went
Mm-hmm.
towards things that they're more passionate or they're willing to change now jobs more often than what it was
Mm-hmm.
before.
And
So,
also I've been
mhm.
seeing lots of people like you said, like management positions that they don't wanna that it's too much for their mental
Yeah.
health and they
Mm-hmm.
take a step down. Like if you're going through a process like that, that you feel like you're being overworked or that you're super stressed at work and you think that, okay, I can be a manager or I can do this, it's okay to take a step back. Don't feel guilty if you go back to a lower position or a lower, job. Um, lower, but you know what I mean. Not,
Mm-hmm.
uh, do whatever you gotta do that makes you feel at ease, at peace with yourself.
Yeah. I feel like a part of me that did change, because I feel like back in the day, I needed to become manager. I needed to be
Mm-hmm.
supervisor. But thinking about it now, it was only so I'd be able to absolutely learn everything from the company so I could never doubt myself. And so I don't have to ask help from others, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But while in that position, I was like, hell no. I'm like, I don't want to be dealing with others people's bullshit
Yeah.
with employees, customers, and everything all the time. It is so
Mm-hmm.
tiring. So, like, in my way now, yes, I like to learn. I like, to make sure I'm doing things correctly, but I don't want to take a position that is going to be like mothering basically
Mm-hmm.
everyone around me. Like, nah, I'm not up for that anymore.
Yeah. I'm not your mother. You should know
Literally.
what you have to do. Yes. Another thing that I can say about my Saturn return is that I've been trying to get back to my disciplines or get back to my routines. And at least in my birth chart, Saturn is very important. Like I need to have boundaries. I need to have like a set of rules. And now that I say that, I remember that sometimes I feel, I don't know if you can relate to that I'm too old for my age. Like there are things that
Mm,
people of our generation or younger they are interested in, and I'm like, even though I haven't lived through
yeah.
those experiences,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't need that in my life. Even though I've never done it, I don't feel it's necessary, and I've always felt that since I was a little kid. And for that reason, sometimes I feel like an outsider, like people don't want to be around me because they might consider me like a boring person or something like that. And it has been a journey of me accepting who I am, like accepting those qualities of my
Mm-hmm.
personality. Like, yes, I am introverted, I am serious sometimes. I also have my very funny, side of my personality that I do show only to my closest people. But I have full judgment from people that they don't know me in a deeper level, like people that they just see
Mm-hmm.
me and they see me like all serious and I'm quiet and they think, oh Maria, she's like very boring, she doesn't do anything. And I've been like learning to not let those comments affect who I am and just knowing my true identity and staying true to it, even though it's different. And it's very predominant because, like I said, Saturn is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is the sign of being different. Like you need to be you, be unique, be break barriers. It's just being different than the crowd. So those things are have been very present, especially this couple of years that have passed. And I'm very grateful, even though it has been difficult for me. Sometimes I try my best to accept those challenges and embrace them. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. You mentioned about sometimes feeling older than from your
Mm-hmm.
age and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that you say that because, yeah, I see people our age, like they haven't fully grown or they're still like stuck in the same old routines, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be drinking all the fucking night. I don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
like going out every single night. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Like I don't have the energy anymore. So in a way, yes, we are getting older. But then I'm thinking back in my 20s, I always felt like it was forced. It wasn't
Yes,
like
me too.
I really wanted to do that. So
Yeah.
it's like I felt like I was always an old person, to be honest.
Yes.
So I just prefer to just chill, watch my favorite
Mm-hmm.
shows, read a book, spend time with my pet, just be
Yeah.
chill. Like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
occasionally be social, like hang out with friends, have a drink, fine. But for it to be like every weekend or every Friday night, no, like that's
No.
too much. Tone it down.
I
Tone
think
it
that
down.
speaks to us like being Cancer. I mean, you're an Aquarius, but you have Cancer moon, Cancer rising. I'm a
Mm,
Cancer sun, and todo lo que dijo Kimberly, I feel it. Like, yeah, I don't know if it happens to you, but when I'm in with the crowd, I
mm.
sometimes feel like I am the
You shut
observer.
yourself down in a way.
Yeah, it's
Mm,
like I like to be around people, but I've noticed that if, for example, if we're hanging out and there are like five people or six, whatever, I get lost. Like too many
mm,
people talking at the same time, I just lose my chain of thought and I just don't know what to say because I'm literally my mind goes blank.
mm,
And I've always had this comment like people say, "Oh, Maria, she's not saying anything. Maria, está callada, you're quiet." And I'm like, I'm listening to you. I'm trying my best to catch up, but I just can't.
mm,
I noticed that people with water signs or like they're very introvert, they feel the same. And it's like, you know what? I have the gift of being a listener. I am
mm.
an observer. That doesn't mean I'm necessarily good at like talking or like giving a big ass,
Does it happen
opinion.
to you that sometimes when you're in those moments,
Yeah.
you might overshare and then just to
Yes,
fit in,
girl.
and then when you're on your own, like, why the fuck did I just said that?
Loca.
Like,
Yes.
they're just strangers. Yeah,
It
happened
has
to me
happened to
recently.
me.
So I'm like, why did I just told them my whole fucking life story? It's like, okay.
Girl, sometimes I catch myself saying things that I know I don't like to say just to say something.
Hmm.
And it's like, bitch, just why don't you just stay quiet?
The most recent one, my supervisor,
Hmm.
but we were like in the same call.
Yeah.
And we were trying to investigate who wrote a comment on a note on the account. And I was like, oh, because of my stalker expertise, I found this and that. And he just started laughing. And then in my head, I'm like, why would I say stalker expertise?
You must be thinking this is
I'm
a
like, this
fucking
bitch is
bitch.
psycho. Like, uno tratando de ser funny y eso, y después me quedé como que, why did I say
He
that?
doesn't,
I'm like,
yeah. They don't get my
like,
humor. Yeah. Why bother?
yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's so basically what I'm trying to say is that I've been on the journey of just accepting, I'm an introverted person. It doesn't mean that I don't talk or that I don't socialize. I do like to
Mm-hmm.
socialize with my friends and my boyfriend, my family, but I'm very selective. So if you feel like you're like us, the introverted girls, don't feel guilty if you need to take time for yourself, if you prefer being at home or just being by yourself, it's completely fine. And I think it's very powerful that you put yourself first because there's a lot of people that they don't know how to be alone. And in my opinion, that's the worst feeling ever. Like
Yep.
being to be near someone that is not good for you, but still you're with that person just because you don't want to feel alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst feeling. That I hope nobody feels that way, but I know some do. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't wish that on anybody. So,
No, not at all. But if
mm-mm-mm.
you do need to talk to us, like we could, yeah, talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like I know, like I was one of them. I did
Mm-hmm.
not. I felt like always had to have someone near me and all of that stuff. And now, I fucking enjoy being alone. Like fuck those
Mm-hmm.
people. No, like
Yeah.
it takes time, but you order to love yourself more and accept yourself more.
Mm-hmm.
and you're comfortable being your own company. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And in our season, in our first season of this
First.
podcast, we did, I think it was the first episode that we talked about the importance of saying no. Do you remember that? I think it was the first episode.
I remember the design with the finger
Uh-huh.
going like this, and then me thinking, yo, that looks like a fucking dick. Later on,
What the fuck, girl?
look, go back to the design. Y eso se me quedó en la mente. I'm like, I hope nobody comments on that stupid finger. Porque eso se me quedó después. Because
Honestamente, I
it
didn't
didn't look
know,
like
I
a
didn't
normal
see
finger
that.
después. Yeah. But
Yo
I
no pensé
remember that episode because of the.
of the dick finger. Ay, Kimberly. So yeah, lo que iba a decir de que if you listen to our previous episodes, we talked about the importance of saying no. And I think that comes to it's important like to know your boundaries and to say no if just things or people that you don't feel they value or bring value to your life. So girl, since I'm saying this, I remember something. Have you seen Love is Blind in Netflix?
No.
No?
Like I've seen the cover and shit, but I haven't
You haven't,
seen.
okay, ni siquiera ni el primer season now. You haven't seen nothing.
No.
Girl. In the
Girl.
third season, there's this relationship that I think is so like wrong for each other. De hecho, es una mexicana, es latina, una de la
Mm.
muchacha. Nothing. La cosa es que they date, whatever, and they go to the. Because if you haven't seen Love is Blind, you are in a. ¿Cómo se dice esa puñeta? Un pod. So you're in a pod, and then you're not seeing the other person. So you're like getting to
Mm.
know the partner without seeing the face.
Okay.
And they start dating for a couple of weeks, and then one or the other have to propose a marriage without seeing their faces. And then after you say yes, you get to see them, and they meet up. Then you go on vacation, blah 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 blah. And then the last episode is the wedding. So even if you don't want to get married, you have to get dressed and walk down the
Is
aisle,
this the
girl.
same show? Era con el tipo ese bajito que salió un montón de memes. It was a weird ass couple, but it was more or less the same concept.
Ah, ya, con la rubia.
Ajá.
Sí, 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 ese mismo show. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the first season.
Okay.
So yeah, nothing. I think is there's this couple that supposedly like in the real world, if you go to a wedding, is that you're gonna get married. So you know you're gonna say yes.
Mm-hmm.
But in the show, you don't know if the other person's gonna say yes. So nothing. If this girl walks to the aisle with her family on her side, whatever, and she says yes, and the guy says no. Girl, it's drama, drama. El punto es que la mamá, she goes crazy. She almost like lo mata al tipo because you get to meet the family and everything. And it's like, and Melody said, then why do you make us go through this process if you're not gonna marry her? Like, I don't understand this.
Mm-hmm.
El punto es que they in the reunion episode, they reunited, duh. Y
Mm-hmm.
entonces la muchacha, she was like, oh, okay, we're friends. And the mom was like, why are you friends with him? He broke your heart. And she's like, I know, but I loved him. He was an important part of my life. And we did have a connection. And she's
Mm-hmm.
like, what does that friendship give to you back? Like, what value do you see in this friendship? Because it's nothing.
You're just hurting yourself.
Literally,
Mm-hmm.
literally. And it's like, yo, girl, just say no. Like, it's not, if it's not worthy to you, doesn't bring you anything positive,
Mm-hmm.
let it go.
Let it go. Let it
Let it
go.
go. Disney break.
There's another version. There's like, fuck it all, don't give a shit anymore.
Anymore. So nothing, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this magical episode, and hopefully you guys are like pumped like us to keep listening to our episodes and our conversations. And ahí se me olvidó que decíamos antes, the follow us in our, ¿cómo es? En our social medias.
Ah, puñeta. Yes, so
Diablo.
follow us on our social media, and Instagram is 1014 Sesh.
Yes.
I don't know if we included podcasts. I think we did.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It's been a
It's
while.
been a while.
It's 1014sesh@gmail.com and email
Yes.
and our YouTube. We're everywhere. Just put
We're
1014
everywhere.
sesh
Yes. And
and
we'll find,
boom, we'll be there.
yes.
Yes. And our new
So,
logo is all purpley and we have a
mhm.
two little cartoons that kind of look like us. So yeah.
Yes. Hope you like it. So yeah, thank you for listening and until next. Well, oh, Kimberly, we didn't explain that to our audience. Like we're gonna be do a little bit of a change in our scheduling of the podcast. So usually we will
Mm-hmm.
do like every week, but this season's gonna be a little bit more fluid, so more free.
Yeah, so we don't
So
be like, oh my God, we need to record and just like do something
yeah.
random or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Aunque nos quedaba cabrón,
Duh.
pero, like, we just decided to just go with the flow and whenever
Mm-hmm.
we can record. So,
Yeah.
like, we're not gonna disappear on you
No.
again. We're just gonna, don't expect like an episode every week. That's all we're
No.
saying.
We'll do our best to do like once a month at least.
Yeah.
But if something happens around the month that we want to talk about, we're definitely gonna do more than one. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be in touch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so thank you for
Yeah.
tuning in. Until next time.
Until next time. And now we have a new outro. It was a kind of
Yes.
like, how do I say it? Like an inside thing just between me and Maria. But
Yeah.
it's just so funny that now we're like, that's going to be our outro for our podcast
Oh,
now.
definitely. Yeah.
We ready? We ready?
Yes. So until next time.
And share.
Ow.
Bueno, thank you for listening to us and hope you have a great day, great week, great weekend whenever you're listening to us.
A great
And
month.
stay
Yes.
tuned. Yes.
Bye.
Yes.